Coming up on this episode of the Hitstreak.
When I got that responsibility, it unlocked something in my brain to be able to take responsibility with other things in my life.
Here is how Dr. Aaron Pryor changed my life. I used to hide my smile, covering my mouth in photos, holding back in conversations, even avoiding big moments. I didn't realize how much it was holding me back until I got my brand new veneers at Pryor Family Dentistry. It's not just my teeth. It's my confidence, my energy, my entire life. Visit PryorFamilyDentistry.com to book a consultation. Your life-changing smile awaits. Whoa, 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 whoa. Check this out. Some of the world's biggest success stories started with nothing. Just grit, hustle, and a story worth hearing. If you've got a story that people need to hear, this is your shot. If you've been through the fire and came out stronger, you belong on this show. Email management@nickhyder.com or comment or DM the word Hitstreak to apply. The Hitstreak is where rags to riches stories have been told, and the next one could be yours. Blessings, folks. Welcome back to another episode of the Hitstreak. I am your man, Nick Hyder. And folks, I got another special one for you today. This isn't an interview. This is a real life conversation that my son and I are having about faith, family, responsibility, growth, pretty much everything that it takes to become a man. So, and we'd like to invite you to be a part of it with us. So, without any further waiting, welcome, Ethan Hyder. E, thanks for hanging with your old man today.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. This is my first time in the new studio, being able to sit down in the chair, put a microphone here, and man, I can't wait to be here. I'm excited.
What do you think about the new studio?
It's beautiful.
They did awesome. Good. They did good, yeah.
They killed it.
What's the biggest difference in the feeling you get versus me being behind the desk, you being across the room in the chair, like, you know, because like you can get comfortable in these things.
Yeah, but that's the biggest thing. I feel I feel a little comfier, and I don't have to wear a headset over my head anymore.
Man, it was tragic to the hairdo, wasn't it? Tragic. That's why I went in ears. I got tired of having to wear a hat home.
I almost brought mine today, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm in the new studio today.
That's right.
So I don't got to do that.
What's it feel like? So you're behind the camera a lot.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I've been in front of the camera before, but it's cool to do it more. It's I feel like it's more my thing to do that anyway.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, heck yeah, man. Well, we're gonna have some fun. You ready to get a little bit below the surface, a little deep today?
Let's do it.
All right. So another first coming in today to be the guest on the Hitstreak is you drove yourself here for the first time. Mm-hmm. Every other time you had to ride in.
I just came with you at 10 in the morning.
That's right. You had to ride in with the host. Now you got to come experience it the way everybody else does. You got to drive here. You actually picked up your sister from school on the way over here since your mom was already here hanging with me. And stopped and got me a latte on the way in and all that stuff. So 16 is, well, what's it like being 16? Tell me about it.
I mean, it's definitely different. Well, you're one step closer to being an adult. But biggest thing is, well, I'm driving, first of all. It honestly feels like I'm an adult almost just because I'm doing a lot more things on my own time. I'm just not paying for a home yet because I am definitely paying for gas.
Yeah. Well, hey, this isn't a political show, but at least you're filling up your gas tank in this administration.
Oh my gosh.
Last administration was a little different.
A little bit, just yeah.
It costs a little more.
It did. I'm very much glad it's getting lower, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having to look for a gas station to go to that is below 2.8. Like,
good luck. Good luck.
Oh boy.
Good luck. I ain't been to a gas station in months.
That's you. Don't rub it in my face now.
I love my Tesla.
I know you do. I love it too.
We love the Tesla. Well, 16, man, it's been a minute since I was 16, but I was 16 too. I was 16 with a lot of the same blood that you got in you. So when I was 16, it's such a strange age because you are driving, you got wheels, you're doing a lot of more things on your own, which requires responsibility. But at the same time, you're still getting. Well, let's just be honest. When you see that awesome playground over there, you still want to go play on it, don't you? Yeah, you do.
Sometimes. But now I look at baseball fields that way.
Yeah. I mean, look, dude, I'll be honest with you. I want to play on the playgrounds too. I just know that I can't get up off the slide when I get to the bottom.
I can still do that. But I just it's hard for me to get under things just because I'm a little bit taller than what I used to be.
There you go. There you go. Talk to me a little bit about as a 16-year-old when you take on that responsibility. How much more, like, again, the world is coming at you now without your parents always right by your side, standing next to you, even protecting you. So when you're out on your own, you have the foundations that have been instilled in you for those 16 years that are your protection, your awareness, knowing what's right and wrong, being able to figure out if people are good versus bad. I know that, the thing that I'm most proud of as your dad is how strong that you are with your faith and your relationship with God. How much have you learned about your faith by being out on your own and experiencing things without your parents right there with you all the time?
I mean, it's definitely different just because, if you're a kid at home and you hang out with your parents a lot, it's just you do a lot of things based on what they're doing. And when you don't have anything to look to and it's just you just go based on what they instilled in you. And it is definitely a different way to look at it, but I feel like it's a better way to look at it because there's no one to ask questions to. It's just something that you can figure out.
Being a dad, I tell you a lot of this stuff. I speak to it a lot. And, it's, I'm a little bit old school, a little bit tough love, because I feel like I would rather raise a tough boy than have to repair a broken man later. All right. And I can tell you everything that's going to be tough is going to be tough, whether it's now or later. What I found, it's tougher later than it is right now, especially when you're younger. In business, when I was coming up, it was always go to school, go to college, get a job, get married, have kids, right? Get a job, get married, buy a house, have kids. That was what it was. And then in my 30s, it was like, hey, if you're going to make mistakes trying to figure out your professional life, do it in your 20s where you have time to recover. So the earlier you can make your mistakes and learn your lessons, the better, because you have more time to recover from those, but more importantly, you have more time to live your life with the knowledge that you gained from learning those lessons. As your dad, I'm gonna tell you something real. I think you already know this. Did you know that after you go to bed at night, I often sit in there and beat myself up over how I handled whatever it was, whatever lesson I was teaching you. Yeah. It's so hard because anytime you look back, you realize there's always things you could have did better. Every single thing I've probably done for you and with you, I could have did it better. It wasn't perfect because I'm not perfect. You chase perfection so you can land on excellence, right? But I do want you to know how proud I am of you. And I was telling your mom in the conversation that we had recently that anytime the guilt gets the best of me, it's a timing thing, meaning there's always stuff that I got to fix. I'm the dad, right? I come home, this is all the stuff that went wrong, this stuff you got to deal with. If I give myself enough time at home, I have time to fix those things and do the fun stuff, be proud of you, tell you what I'm proud of, and so on and so forth. When I mismanage my time or I let work take up too much of my time, I come home and I do the corrective part, but I didn't get to give you the rest of the gifts. And anytime I feel guilty, that's usually the pattern that's happening. It's got to be, I'm an external thinker. I think out loud. You literally haven't spoken in about 2 minutes since we've been sitting in these chairs right now. it can't be easy as a 16-year-old listening to your dad think through stuff out loud while he's teaching you a lesson.
Well, it used to be hard just because I didn't really get it. I used to not get it, but as you've done it more and more times, you've been better with actually explaining it. So there's a lot of times you could probably tell that I'm into it or that I'm not into it.
Right.
And lately, we haven't had to do it too much just because I've learned already.
It's cool. Your mom and I are always learning new things about how to raise you better, be more effective as parents, teaching you the things that we need you to be equipped with when you go out and take on the world. And I think, we hold responsibility over your head, like the car, access to the car. Mm-hmm. We hold it over your head as something that you could lose. But at the same time, if we don't give it, like, we notice a big change in your maturity literally the day before, the days leading up to the day that you had the Jeep and the days after you had the Jeep. You were a better son, a more responsible son after you had the Jeep. So
I don't want to lose that thing.
That's exactly right.
That's the whole thing. And that's why part of me wishes that I made something that way when I was younger, because I didn't realize how much it would actually impact. So, because it motivates me every day to not lose that thing, because it's the best.
Yeah. That's, again, it's you, you weren't ready for it when we gave it to you. Mm-mm. You were never going to be ready for it until we gave it to you.
Right.
You see how just that tweak, one little change in the word changes everything. Mm-hmm. If we didn't give it to you, you still wouldn't be ready for it.
No.
But by giving it to you and then helping you, navigating you through all the things that happen because you have it, we're teaching you to be ready for it. That's the catch. And as a parent, that's hard because that's not always the answer. Mm-hmm. Right?
Every kid's different.
Especially when it's a 2,000-pound vehicle or whatever the Jeep weighs, and it's your life and everybody else's life that's on the line when you're out on that road. And my parents used to, they couldn't look at Life 360 or find Ethan's iPhone and know where you're at, know how fast you're driving. My parents had to just sit there and wait. They couldn't call me. When I was a little bit older, they could page me. I don't even know if you know what that is.
I know what a pager is because I've watched older movies.
There you go.
Not that old, but
they
older.
Could page me. But then they have to wait for me to call them back. So they didn't know anything, and so if I wasn't home, and I wasn't home on time, they was he in a ditch? I heard that a gazillion times. You could have been in the ditch somewhere. Apparently everybody got lost in ditches. I don't know when we were our parents. That's the thing, but. The point is we can, when you're late, I can look and find out where you're at. I ain't even see how fast you're going. My parents couldn't do that. So maybe it's a little bit easier for us in that respect. But at the same time, that same device that's tracking you is also the cause for a lot of the problems that you have. Mm-hmm. One of the things that you're constantly struggling with, and it's all based on patterns, is... Well, I'm going to get to the bottom of this real time. This is a real conversation in front of everybody. So there's certain things that we have to tell you over and over again. Mm-hmm. Like, what's one? What's one that's normal that we have to tell you over and over again? That
let the dog out.
How about just when it's time to go to bed?
Yeah.
And then sometimes if we're not coming behind you saying, if we're not.
I'll tweak it a little bit.
If I'm not acknowledging that you went to bed on time, it's almost like, well, he didn't notice. Is that what you think? Or like, literally, you were an hour late for going to bed.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
I just thought of it as more time. I didn't think of it as sneaking it or anything, just because that's not how I think about things. But I don't know. I
believe what you just said. That was really cool what you just said. It wasn't you were trying to sneak anything. You just I
don't know. I thought maybe you were giving me something. I thought maybe instead of asking first, like I should have.
There you go. So breakdown in communication. But that's a really powerful thing you just said, because it's not like your intention wasn't bad.
No, it's just the end of it was the cause of what happened was like I stayed up an hour.
Well, it's a valuable lesson, because sometimes you'll see somebody rob a convenience store or something, and then you find out later that their kid was starving and they were just trying to feed their kid, but it still doesn't make the action of robbing the convenience store wrong. It's kind of like you said. Did they ask the person that they just robbed? Did they show them their kid starving? And did they ask for a hand up? Not a hand out, but a hand up. Right? So, dang, that was pretty cool, dude. That was profound what you just did. That was really neat. We're going to be doing that a lot this episode. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. So, again, going back to just being 16, driving. You drive yourself to and from church, you drive yourself to and from school. You've picked your sister up from school. You help us, you go pick up stuff from the store.
A lot.
Yeah, dude.
I either get to take the Jeep or the Tesla. It's just like, hey, I love it.
That's right.
It just gives me more time in each of the cars.
That's exactly right. You're driving to your own gigs. You're driving to work.
Baseball.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's wild how drastically different life is since the last time you sat across from me and we got to have a conversation like this.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact: you work here at the Hit Lab.
Yep.
All right. You've done a lot of filming for us. Gotten pretty good with the camera. Fun fact about your Instagram and your YouTube, which folks, you need to check them out. Ethan Heiderite. Subscribe, follow.
Go do it.
All the things.
Go do it.
But how much help do you get on your Instagram and your YouTube?
0.
You do it all.
Yep. It's all me.
You film it.
Yep.
Post it.
Yep.
Edit it.
Yep.
Everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. You got so you're working. You gave your first drum lesson recently.
I did.
And who'd you give that lesson to?
To Cash Dykes, which is Casey's son. It was the coolest thing I ever got to do, just because I've been getting taught by Bruce Gust a lot, and he's a great teacher. And I'd say I learned how to teach from you, because you're a really good teacher, and of course from Bruce.
And it's how cool is it that your first drum client is the rock star son of Casey, who is a hitting coach for the New York Yankees.
I mean, it's cool. I didn't really think of it that way. I was just like, man, I get to do a favor for a friend. It was nice, and I can't wait to do it again. He was a quick learner.
He was solid, wasn't he?
He was quick. Yeah, he was great. He had really good tempo. He was really good at keeping time. I also taught his daughter as well.
There you go. And then you got to see all the cool stuff.
Oh boy, I could talk about that for too long.
Well, just give us a little bit. So Casey has some really cool stuff. Being a coach on the Yankee staff, played against the Dodgers in the World Series year before last.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So what was some of the stuff you got to see?
There were some signed bats. A couple years ago, Jackie Robinson Day, Aaron Judge shoes. That man has some big feet.
The Jordans.
Oh my gosh, those things are huge. I knew they were big my gosh, they're just some big feet, man.
Yep.
When they went to the All-Star game, all the lineup, who a bunch of people signed it, like Scooble and Stephen Kwan.
Yep.
He's a heck of a ball player. Got to see a real Yankees torpedo bat, Austin Wells.
Mm-hmm.
He torpedoed the crap out of that thing. It's
Yep.
cool. Goldie, saw a Goldschmidt bat, Bellinger bat. Thank God he's back. But it was. Hey, I love Bellinger, man.
I agree.
He's awesome. Yeah, I got to see a Aaron Judge bat, Anthony Rizzo. It was super cool. Jazz Chisholm gloves. He reps Jordan gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Good man. But it was just cool, just being in that environment.
Yeah.
Just an environment that I'd want to be in.
The environment is king, and environments. The environments are what people should be both chasing and working on attracting. Because again, once you get in the room with those types of folks, it's different. It's just different.
Absolutely.
And it changes you, right?
Yeah, it's like being in the room with Brad Lee and or like a friend of yours. It's a totally different feeling.
Yeah, that's right. Hi, folks. I'm your man, Nick Hyder, and I just want to say a quick thank you for all of you, the millions of you tuning into the Hitstreak. We're literally getting the information from the people that have it to the people that need it by bringing on guests that everybody knows and some that not everybody knows yet. Keep listening, keep sharing, and keep leveling up with the Hitstreak. Well, on the subject of the New York Yankees and baseball and stuff, which we're getting ready to go on our annual Tampa trip here soon.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
We have the World Baseball Classics this year, so that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Right? So we got to make sure.
Sadly, Judge won't be there, but also on the contrary, he's going to be playing for Team USA. That is going to be one of the coolest things to watch, I think.
That's right.
Seeing him, in a different jersey. Thankfully, it's not a Mets jersey or a Red Sox jersey, but it's a America, USA jersey. And man, they've had some great years in the past that I didn't get to watch. I wish I did, just because I've seen clips and stuff. Thank God for social media and that kind of in those ways, because I get to see that stuff, but I can't wait to see it real time. It's like when Shohei struck Mike Trout out. One of the coolest things and probably baseball classic history, if in my opinion, that I can see.
That was a heck of a sequence right there.
That was so cool.
Matchup, yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, he's about to throw sweeper, whatever the heck he's got, because he adds a pitch every single day. He's like me, 7 different pitches.
Well, this off season for baseball, just because of the age you're at, has been a big one for you. Not only are you doing a lot of growing into your body,
growing into my bat,
learning a lot of things about yourself. But 16 is a sophomore year in school, 16-year-old travel baseball season. It's a big year, and you set some pretty big goals as far as some growth, whether it be, what do we call it? What's the off-season thing that we're working on? Project
85, 95, 67, 60. Don't you dare say anything about any 2 numbers that you heard.
Did you say?
No, stop it. He says it more than I do. I hate
6, 7, 60? 6, 7.
I drove here. I can leave too.
All right. I won't do it anymore. No cap. All right. So
Nick Hyder, everyone. I hope you like the hit streak. We need a rim shot in here.
We do need. I know. I miss my sound effects.
Just I could get a little on the side. That'd be. Oh yeah, you'd have the sound pad.
I need to get my sound pad back. All right. So project 85, 95, 6, 7, 60. What is it?
85 miles an hour off the bump,
which is for all the non-baseball players out there.
That is throwing 85 miles an hour from off the pitcher's mound.
That's it. You said,
as a pitcher.
The mound, not so the bump is the mound.
Yeah, that's baseball talk.
Yep.
And then 95 miles an hour exit velocity off the bat.
Cool.
And a 6.7 60-yard dash.
So a 6.7 second 60-yard dash.
Yeah.
Awesome. Which is cool because where did you start at the end of last season?
Barely hitting 80 miles an hour off the bat, and maybe like 76 miles an hour off the mound.
Okay. What about running? Do you remember what you were?
It was like
7.5.
It was like 7.5, 7.6.
Yeah, which ain't bad for a 15-year-old.
No.
All right. So the cool thing is you've been working your butt off. You work with who are the folks that you get to work with in this town that are really, really good?
But I get to work with Joey Lewis of the Hit Lab for hitting lessons. He's the best. He's awesome. He's great at what he does.
Great business now.
Oh my, yeah. He's a great teacher. Well, I wouldn't know anything about that right now. He just does the hitting part, and he's great at that too. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, he's got some of the best batting practice you've ever seen. He's amazing at throwing BP. And for strength training, I get to work with Aaron Hines at Premier Performance Training.
The mayor of fitness in Brentwood, as he's known as.
He's the best.
That's right. Then you mentioned you do a lot of your drum stuff. You work with Bruce and whatnot. What about as far as, so Aaron's helping you with your speed and strength.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joey's working with you on your hitting. And then what about your pitching and stuff? Who helps you out with your pitching and stuff?
So far, it's really just been me and any reels you send me on Instagram.
Well, who's your coach in high school, bruh?
Oh, well, Jason Anderegg.
And what position did he play?
He was a pitcher. He was a good one too.
There you go. So you get a lot of attention from that,
Yeah,
right?
He helps me out a lot.
That's right.
He's great.
Does. Every time you come home, you're like, yeah, Jay, I was talking to Jason about this, and he showed me that. And
we spend a lot of time just talking pitching, especially when I'm throwing flat grounds or bullpens. He'll mention something, I'll do it, and he's like, "There you go."
Yeah. What's probably one of the most mind blowing things you've learned this year about? There's always been guys that were not as strong as you, like they couldn't lift as much as you could,
but they'd hit the ball and throw the ball harder.
That's right. What was the difference?
Honestly, how they move their body.
Okay, go on.
And how they were able to. There's certain things with the rhythm of the body where certain things need to go back while some things are going forward. Growing up, just playing baseball and doing things like that, it was always hard for me to get for those body parts to do those certain things. So, and for people that weren't as big as me and could do that, they were blessed with being able to do it just naturally. And I've been working on just those certain moves to be able to do that, like with certain flexibility in my arm and the hips, especially. It's just, but again, that's why baseball is such a cool sport. You got to be able to do certain things with your body to be at the best level. Just certain things have to move at the right time.
That's exactly right. Rhythm.
And that's when people say rhythm, they're not talking about just in rhythm with the pitcher, but your body in rhythm with those other body parts as well. And that's what people overlook.
It's a great analogy for life because in life, you want to be in rhythm and you want to have balance.
Yes.
And all these things that
you get knocked off balance, you're going to fall over. You're going to fall over and it won't be fun.
That's exactly right. Are you ready to take your brand digital? At HitLab Creative, we don't just make content. We build your digital foundation from the ground up. So whether you're launching a podcast, creating scroll-stopping social media content, or building a website that actually converts, we connect all the dots. Visit hitlabstudio.com/studio-time and let's build something that lasts. Because the HitLab is where digital strategy meets data-driven content creation. The older I get and the further that I get into life and in business, well, I'll put it this way. The older you get, you see the road in front of you get shorter and shorter, and the road behind you gets longer and longer. Mm-hmm. And so when I was young, the road in front of me looked endless. So I didn't pay attention to certain things. There are certain things, I guess I just always thought I'll get to them when they matter. And as you get older and that road in front of you, you start to see the end of it. It gets shorter and shorter and the road behind you gets longer and longer. It gives you a different perspective, or you see life in a different way. So for me, like when you have less in front of you, you don't want to waste any of it. You want to make sure you get like every ounce of every mile that you have left in front of you. So for me, it's like I start to think about those miles in front of me. I start to think about the road in front of me and think, what do I want to do with it? It's so valuable because I see all that I wasted behind me. When you work really hard, okay? You're a really hard worker, especially for your age. And you may not outwork everybody, but I'll definitely put you in probably the top 1%. The most important piece of working on your future is being aware that a future exists and what you want out of that future. It's really hard to choose what you want way in the future over what you want right now. And I feel like you've done, for a 16-year-old, I think you're really, really, I know you're better than most your age at that. Are you aware, like, why do you work so hard, E?
Well, because I have a certain goal, and it's getting closer and closer every passing minute, every passing day.
Do you ever feel like, do I ride you too hard on those goals? And you, like, again, this is a safe place. This is a safe place. Nothing you say here will I use against you later. I'm serious. Okay. But you know that already, right?
Yeah.
So, but what, like, I pushed pretty hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, not at all. Like lately you haven't really had to
That's right. That's exactly right.
because you used to. Not too hard, but you'd just do your best to help. So because you made me aware, and I didn't really know that's what you were trying to do. And I figured that out and when I figured that out, you haven't had to say anything. It's just been me doing it on my own and me setting my own records with the help of me.
For me, I felt responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you weren't doing what I knew that you needed to be doing to get where you said you wanted to go, for a long time it was my job to make sure you knew what to do and when. But then at some point in time, I had to give you the control of yourself, your time, your life. I could say, here's the choices you got to make. It's up to you to make the right choice now. And that transition that lasted about a year. I struggled with it big time.
Mm-hmm.
Handled it really poorly in some instances, and in some instances, I thought I did a good job. I always go back and play it back, and I try to be aware. But for a long time, I did. I felt like I was responsible for, if he doesn't get that work in, he's going to regret it later, and it's my fault. And at some point in time, I had to give you control of that. How did what was the biggest difference in like I had to get on your nerves some. My dad got on my nerves, and looking back, I would give anything to have more of it, But what was it like from your perspective, going through watching your mom and dad live through that transition?
I mean, when it was happening, honestly, it wasn't as noticeable as most people would think because it just for me, it was a seamless transition just because it all kind of happened at the same time. It took a while, but when it happened, it all happened like that.
Mm.
And I think kind of all happened when I got the Jeep. If I'm being quite honest, like when I got that responsibility, it unlocked something in my brain to be able to take responsibility with other things in my life.
Yeah, that's right.
But when it was happening, I mean, it was there was just sometimes felt like I did things wrong, but and then I wasn't. Then some things I thought I did right, and then I didn't.
Mm.
And that was probably the hardest part, just figuring out what the right things were and the wrong things were.
Mm. So anytime I'd get frustrated with you, I usually call Pop. Pop, this is what he's doing. Because again, I was seeking. My dad's already been there.
Well,
done that.
If you know somebody with the answers, you should ask for it.
Well, and he's got, dad's already done it. He's already raised kids. And I needed a dad's perspective.
Right.
Right. And the cool thing about his perspective is it's a lot like mine. He could say, here's what I did. If I could do it again, here's what I would do this time. And the thing he always came back with is Nick, he knows you've taught him, you've raised him well. He knows the difference between right and wrong, and he knows what to do. Now your job is to help him just remember.
Yep. But that was the difficult part. I just needed to learn how to remember what is right and wrong. And ever since I've done that, it's been pretty easy to not forget about it. Again, especially since I got the Jeep. It's the best thing about it is I know a lot of people were skeptical that was my first car, but I haven't heard a thing out of them since.
Boom. That was powerful. That was powerful. So you shut him up.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that feel?
Well, it felt pretty good for sure. Okay.
And that was awesome.
Yeah, but it definitely felt really good. And again, doing that unlocked more things, just like I want to do that more.
Mm.
Now I just need to figure out how to do it more. And I feel like I'm doing a lot of that, especially with baseball. Freshman year, I wasn't the big dude. Now I'm pretty much getting there. I'm doing a lot of things that you'd see most varsity guys doing.
Well, you mentioned Project 85, 95, 67, 60. You told them where you started. Where are you at right now as you get into the final, couple, really 6 weeks of your off season?
Yeah. Well, we started, I'd say September, early September, mid-September.
Yeah,
And
you told us where you were.
Yeah,
where are you at now?
Here we are now. And right now, off the bump, off the mound, 82, 83.
Attaboy. And your goal is 85, so
yep.
you're almost there.
I'm 2 miles. I'm just one more move behind my ear, and I'll get there. And exit velocity, 92.
Attaboy. So how are you going to get to 95?
Keep figuring out more moves, get stronger, get faster.
That's it.
And the 60-yard dash, we haven't done that yet. I'm going to do that soon. Yeah. But I've been working with Aaron, and I've definitely just gotten faster just because I figured out how to run.
Yeah. Figured out technique, moves. It's all movement.
It all is, and there's a reason that Dwayne Johnson can't hit a baseball 450 feet. He's huge, but he can't only because he doesn't know the right moves to do it.
Got it.
It's different between him and Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve is 5'5", but he knows the right moves and he can hit balls 450 feet.
That's it. So I'm a big brother, but my sister's only 2 years younger than me. You're a big brother, and your sister is almost 12 years younger than you.
Basically 12 at 11.
I want to talk to you a little bit about brotherhood, leadership, and at the end of the day, just what it's like being watched at home. You're a great big brother. You're a great big brother. And it's got to be tough finding your voice when talking to her, because the only critique we really have of you and being a big brother is you're not her parent.
Yeah,
you're a big brother, so talk to her like a big brother, not as a parent. You get to be the one that says, "Look, let me tell you what they're not telling you."
I get to show her the ropes.
Yeah, that's it. You get to be the one.
I lived with it.
That's right.
For a long time.
That's right. She's wild, isn't she?
Oh my gosh.
What do you love most about her?
Well, that she's wild. She don't give a crap about what anyone thinks. She just does whatever she wants, and she does it right then. And she's brave, that's for sure. There's no DNA test needed either.
No. What does she do that gets on your nerves? There's got to be stuff. It's okay.
She likes violence.
Like what kind?
Well, I know she's doing a lot of soccer. Who do you think was her soccer ball? It was me.
Okay.
Yeah, my shins, really. She can't get above that.
Right.
But she definitely likes kicking. She'll hit you a little bit, but
she crashes anytime you got friends over.
Oh, she crashes everything, and part of me loves it. Part of me don't like it, but most of me loves it, just because she likes to gets people's attention. I don't want to take that away from her.
It's so cool because she doesn't know that it doesn't mean anything to her that you're 16 and she's 4.
No, she thinks that she's the exact same age as us. Like she thinks she's everything that we are.
Absolutely.
That has mini kitchens in our living room.
Well, it's, if you think about it, man, if things go like they're supposed to, at some point in time, your mom and I'll be gone and you two will have each other. It'll just be y'all. And y'all's kids and y'all's families. And my dream is that you guys are extremely close. That, I don't get to see or talk to my sister too often, and I take half the responsibility and the blame for that. I wish that it was different. It's just not. And that's not forever. It's just right now. Mm-hmm. She's, if this is the way that she wants it, I'm cool with that. I don't really know. Our immediate family used to be very, very close. And as you know, my mom and dad went their separate ways and they've got their own lives now. And my sister, when, she lives in Florida and we see her maybe once a year, talk to her. Sometimes weeks or even a month or two will go by and I don't talk to her. My wish for you is I hope you talk to your sister every day. There's a bond and a relationship there that, dude, there's nothing better. And I hope, it's hard for me to say that when I know you're watching me not have a great relationship with my sister. But, and I don't have an excuse. I'm just telling you, this is a place where I'm falling short. She's falling short. We're both falling short. It's both of us. I hope that, we talk about generational wealth and generational sins, how they're passed down. All the worst parts of me, you don't have to repeat those. I hope you don't. I hope you take the best parts of me and you scale them. I hope you take the worst parts of me and you abolish them and you remove them from our family DNA. That's a big responsibility and a big ask I'm asking of you. But if there's one that you definitely get right, I hope it's the one with your sister. Nobody's going to cheer for you and love you more than she does. And dude, you are her hero, bro. Like, you are her hero. And anytime she comes in there to your room, she's walking into her hero's room. And always remember that, because how you respond, think about the impact that has. There's an old saying that you don't want to meet your heroes because they might disappoint you. When you met Don Mattingly, how cool was it that he was such an amazing person?
He was awesome. It was super cool. It was super nice because, he's just a normal guy at the end of the day.
How great did you feel with the amount of respect that Aaron Judge gave you the first time you got to be acknowledged by him? Now, how different would you have felt? How crushing would it have been if he didn't give you that feeling, if he gave you the exact opposite?
Definitely would have been fun.
When you look up to somebody and like, there's a perception that we have about everybody, an opinion even about how people are and who they are. And sometimes it can be heartbreaking when somebody that means this much to you, when you find out that they're really only this. And I think it's hard because not only did they let you down, but for me, I felt disappointed, and I'm like, man, how did I misjudge that guy that bad?
It's almost like you blame it on yourself.
A little bit. So going back to your sister, every time she comes in there, dude, like, literally this morning, you were gone already when she woke up. You were off to baseball practice, and she was asking where you were. We were telling her, yeah, we're about to ride in together to the studio. We're taking you to school, going to the studio. Bubba's going to pick you up. She's like, where is he? Why isn't he here? Why isn't he going with us? You got your own things she's starting to understand. But man, like, I'm just telling you, that little girl that won't be little that long, no matter what, find ways to be a part of her life, find ways to keep her a part of your life. Because again, one day, if things go like they're supposed to, your mom and I won't be here. And you guys will be, and your families will be all that you have left. And as you felt by some of our holiday family gatherings, nothing's more important than family.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, man, it's pretty cool. This past year, speaking of family, you got to meet our cousin Bob. You met him last summer, and then he came in again for Thanksgiving. He was just on the podcast. Got there some really cool stories. You've always heard all about your famous cousin that played for the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
You got to meet him.
Yeah.
What was he like?
It was awesome. It was cool. He's a catcher. I'm a pitcher. All we did was just talk baseball. It was nice. It was super cool.
How smart is he?
Genius.
Did we put some pretty big hype around him.
As you should.
He lived up to it.
He played 10 years in the big leagues. The hardest part of playing baseball isn't getting to the big leagues, it's staying there, and he did that for a while. He got to choose, well, not really, but because I've heard the story of what happened, but it's still probably one of the coolest stories for baseball, especially that runs in our family.
And then he was in baseball for another decade after that.
Yeah,
in TV.
20 years of TV, and as he should have, his voice is made for it.
Yeah, yeah. Which for me, it's again, I hadn't seen him in 20 years. In 20 years, and it was probably 10 years before that. I've seen him more in the last year and a half than I'd seen him in the last 30 years. And it is cool for me. He was always like, for me, he was a little bit of a sign of a motivator, even though I did get to spend a lot of time with him just because I always heard about him. I always heard what he did, how he did it, what he overcame. And I always thought, man, I can do that too. I can do that too. So I was always motivated by that. Are you ready to transform your business and unlock new revenue streams? At Processing First, we empower our partners with cutting-edge payment solutions and unparalleled support. By leveraging our extensive network of banking partners, we match you with the ideal bank to ensure that you receive the most competitive rates and deliver an exceptional experience for both you and your customers. Visit processingfirst.com to learn more and join our growing community of successful partners. Coming back to your sister for a second. What do you like? So you get to see her through your own eyes as a brother, but as a 12 years her senior, you get to see a little bit of a perception that your mom and I might see. What do you hope for her as she grows up?
That whatever she wants to do, she gets to do it.
That's a great answer. What do you think will be some of your biggest role in her life?
Someone to look up to. So like when I do something great, that she will want to do something great as well.
So you've always done a really good job of hanging out with like good people. The only real time you've ever been in real trouble, it was because you were hanging out with somebody that got into trouble at that point in their life. You haven't caused us a lot of problems. You've honestly been a phenomenal child. You've been a great kid. Very little, like the stuff that I get worked up about, when you put it in the big scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. How important, like I'm trying to figure out, do you seek these people to fulfill certain roles to help you, or are you just naturally drawn to them? You have a skill and a knack for picking good people to be around. How did you figure that out?
Well, because I've had the majority of both. I've had the majority of not so great people, and I've had the majority of really good people.
Well, who are the not? I mean, I only know of one person that caused you pain in your life. Who are the people that were not great people?
It really was just.
You don't have to call them out. How many of them are there?
Yeah, it really was just that one person. But I was just like, well, I don't want to have anybody else like that. Mm. So I just found the people that weren't like that. And when they weren't, they were always, well, best way to put it, they were like me.
Got it.
They were outgoing. They want to do things for other people. They're nice.
What have you found? There's certain people that push you. Certain people push you to be better. Certain people, I don't know. Like when I'm around certain folks, I just feel like, man, like I feel ignited. I feel like enthusiastic. I feel driven when I get around certain people. Like there's something, Brad has been a great friend to me, and so he's somebody that I look up to. He's done a lot of things that I want to accomplish in life. He gets to do things with his wife and kids that I'm like, man, he's figured out how to find the resources and the time to do those things and create those memories. What is it that you're looking for in people that make you feel that way? Who are some of those folks?
There's some people, most of these people are new, like people on my baseball team. Good buddy Seth, he's my new throwing partner. He's a varsity guy. He throws 90. Not fun to catch, by the way. If you see this, I had to take a slider to the leg today. Put breaking balls into it. I'm like, I only know your fastball and changeup. I don't want to do this. He was like, slider. I was like, no. It was gross too.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, I saw that one. You have anything else? He was like, I was like, all right, then we're good.
There you go.
Some of them are a band based here in Nashville, Velvet Mirage. Mm-hmm. Good friends Gabby, Alex, and Matthias. They're awesome. I look up to them a lot. They're very, very, very experienced musicians. Mm-hmm. they're also just really cool people. Being able to hang out with them just one day was probably one of the coolest experiences I got to have, and the biggest thing was I want to make someone else feel that way.
Mm, that's
The
awesome.
way they made me feel that day, like Matthias is really good, is close with one of my favorite bands called The Warning, and he gave me some memorabilia that they gave him that day, and it was one of the coolest feelings I've felt in a long time. Like when Judge gave me that ball,
Yeah.
I was like, what can I do to make someone else feel that way? But yeah, shout out Velvet Mirage. They're awesome. They're great.
That's right.
Based here in Nashville, I go to Belmont. They're crazy cool people.
Well, since the last time you were the guest on the show, you've gotten to do some pretty cool things.
I
All right.
agree.
So let's just give a quick little recap. All right. So you're on the show last year. We just come back. You'd gone to Yankee Stadium. You got to walk out on the field. Came back last year. You got you another varsity letter as a freshman.
Yep.
In school ball. Had a great school season. Had a learning. The summer season was a little different last year.
Yeah, I was not. It was definitely not my best, but it was definitely a learning thing. Like, where do I need to go? Where do I want to go?
Yeah, I mean, you were very successful in certain areas of the game, but I think there was some things that you learned as far as like
Mentally,
maybe making sure that the people that have influence in how much playing time you get feel the same way about you that you feel about yourself.
that was probably the biggest thing.
Yeah,
And I mean, I've been doing that. I've been doing my best with that so far in school, and I haven't got my butt ridden one time. So I'm saying I'm doing pretty good.
that's right.
Thanks, Jason.
That's right. That's right.
But
Coach Jason, that
Coach
is.
Jason, absolutely, he's the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, towards the end of the season was probably where I learned that, and I had one of my best performing ending tournaments in a long time.
That's right.
I threw a no-hitter in my last start and went like 3 for 3 that game
Yeah.
with a swinging with the bunt, with a normal bunt,
That's right.
bunt for a hit, then a single and I think a double that game.
That's right. It was again, it was I don't know. It's those running moments. They're not always fun to go through, but
the result of them is the best part, which is why I think learning things like that is really hard, because people don't want to go through with it because
That's
it's
right.
too hard. But
That's
if you
right.
do go through with it, it's probably one of the best decisions you'll make.
You had a crazy drum recital since you sat in that chair last time, where you were working on some crazy complicated stuff.
Dave Weckl.
You got to you got the gig as one of the rotation of church drummers in as we call it, the big service. No longer just a youth drummer, but like you're playing with.
No, it's like
paid
playing.
dudes.
It's like varsity and JV.
That's right.
That's where I get to be now. It's a cool experience, and it's cool because I surprise them every single time, every rehearsal. They're like, because I understand what they understand. We are, all of our minds think the same way.
That's cool. You got to play the Christmas Eve service. That's a big deal.
That was a huge deal, and
It's a great honor.
Quite frankly, probably one of the best performances I've played in that church since I've been the drummer.
One of the highlights for me was, can I set the stage for when you got to play in the studio?
Sure.
Can I do that? All right. Yeah. So one of the highlights for me is you got to go into the recording studio, and it was a little bit of like a recital, so to speak, and there was a couple of pieces that you had been working on really, really hard, and we wanted to give you the experience of how to lay it down in a studio versus like just in a kit, in a recital, live audience or something like that, where everything is magnified, what you do well and what you don't do well, right? It tells you if it's perfect or not.
Mm-hmm. Nothing in between.
And you got to go into the studio to play your two pieces. And what I was amazed with, because I've done that before and I know how hard it is, and playing drums in the studio is not like playing drums anywhere else. It's totally different.
Yep.
It's almost like playing another instrument, or learning a new language. What was so cool for me is you weren't playing your own kit. You didn't get to dial in that kit to make it where you like it, to put the things where you like it. And you had basically one take on both of those pieces. And watching you do that as a dad, it was the coolest thing. But seeing how you handled, like, Ethan, that was a lot of pressure that you didn't seem to feel. You just went in there and you did your thing, and dude, it came out so good. How cool is it to listen to yourself playing in the car?
It's different.
Now, what was it you played? You played two pieces.
I played a piece by Dave Weckl. I'm blanking. I don't remember what it's called. It'll probably come back to me. And then
but it was crazy hard.
Oh yeah, it's Dave Weckl plays the drums like a piano.
Yeah,
best way I could put it. But and then the other piece is called "The Spell" by Mammoth.
So Mammoth. When the last time you sat in the chair, I didn't know what a Mammoth was as far as music goes. I thought it was.
I didn't either.
So tell them about Mammoth.
Fun fact. Okay, so it's Wolfgang Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen's son. He records everything: drums, guitar, vocals, bass, all the things. Everything. And but he has a touring band, which also is really good. Shouldn't expect nothing less. Fun fact about Mammoth, though, that I actually just learned this recently. Wolfgang calls it Mammoth because Mammoth was actually going to be the original name for Van Halen.
Really?
Yep. So that's where he got that name.
I didn't know that.
I just learned that.
How'd you learn that? Where'd you learn that?
I think Instagram or YouTube, where he was just talking about it, and he was like, well, it was pretty easy to pick out a name because Mammoth was going to be the original name for Van Halen.
Man, how good is Wolf?
He's probably one of the best musicians in this generation, especially when it comes to writing, but then, of course, playing on top of himself or understanding music. He was a drummer first, like his uncle, and he plays everything like a drummer. So everything rhythmically is always perfect. Anything you hear, everything goes with everything, and that I think is the most impressive thing to me. And it's just satisfying to the ears.
Crazy complicated.
Oh, it's not easy at all. Especially like all the work and bass, and like he does some piano stuff. There's another instrument he does, and then of course he's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
But he also learned the bass just because he was actually the bassist for Van Halen's from 2007 to when Eddie sadly passed away, and that's really where he got the bass from.
Yeah.
But ever since then, he's been recording songs for Mammoth since like 2015, which I didn't know. Like one of his songs called "Think It Over" is actually Eddie Van Halen's favorite song.
Got it.
Because he'd already produced it and made it before he released the album.
Well, it's crazy complicated stuff on all the instruments. He is I look at him and I feel like I'm looking at Dave Grohl but younger, like a young Dave.
Oh,
Grohl,
I 100% agree with that. He does
the same.
A lot of his songs are very Foo Fighters-esque tunes, and he makes it that way on purpose. Like a lot of his song called "The Spell" in the very beginning, he was like, sounds a lot like a Korn song.
Mm-hmm. It does, and
that's where he got it. That's literally where he got it from. Like most of his stuff is just stuff that he's heard, and he was just like, let me just make another version of it. He just does it. But he's also a super cool dude. I've seen all his interviews, like when he does stuff with Rick Beato. It's all super cool stuff. But again, he's a genius when it comes to how to make you think, especially with how things sound in any instrument.
So when you went into the studio, you got to play "The Spell," and it was all Wolfgang Van Halen except for the drums, and that's Ethan Heider.
Yep,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was a really cool. It's just such a good track.
Kind of bouncing around a little bit here, but a question that just popped into my mind. You've got to hang out with a lot of very successful people here, and I mean, whether they're Super Bowl champions or touring artists, people with signatures on drumsticks, Hall of Fame athletes, World Series playing athletes, the top athletes in the world, some business people that are at the top of their game. Is there anything in particular you notice about all top performers that they all have in common?
They think the highest of themselves.
Okay.
First of all.
What do you mean by that?
They just have confidence in themselves.
Got it.
They talk the highest about themselves because one, they know they're great, which is why they got to the level that they were at, and all that is just from confidence that they had. They all have very, very high confidence.
That's a great answer. I agree with you.
That's the difference between people that can make it to that level and just couldn't get there.
Confidence is a skill for sure.
Yep.
Confidence is a
which
skill.
is why those people got it, and just when they do that, they just have more of it. They have more of it than most, and they're also just very hardworking. Their best way to put it is when you see people like that, whatever they do, they're obsessed with it.
You can't be.
They're obsessed over it.
Yeah, you're not. There's a big difference in being interested versus obsessed.
Like with me, my obsession with baseball is very recent, but you can tell I have it because it's all I freaking talk about.
That's right.
You ask any of my friends right now, they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, he talked about this yesterday." Or like this before. Some of them won't even know because they just like, I've heard so much about it already from him. Right. It's everything I do is baseball.
That's right.
Everything.
Hey, pardon this quick interruption, but it's a good one. You're listening to this ad right now, which means someone else could be listening to your ad in this exact spot. Go to nickhyder.com/contact-me or click the link in the show notes to get started. Let's put your brand in the spotlight right where it belongs. Well, almost everything, because
except for music.
What's wild is how good of a guitar player you are. Dude, it blows me away. I helped you with a lot of the drums, especially when you were younger. I've helped you with a lot of the baseball. I don't know how to play guitar, so I didn't. I know you and Pops had that going on for a long time, but that's something you've done all on your own, man. It's been pretty awesome to watch. Like, you're really good at guitar. I think you're as good at guitar as you are at drums. Is that accurate?
No.
Why?
Well, guitar is a lot different than drums, and most of the stuff I do is just basics. Is more like, it sounds really fast and it sounds really hard, but it's a lot of just basic stuff turned into cool things like tapping, like Eddie Van Halen does and all that. It's once you figure it out, it's probably the easiest thing you can do on a guitar.
What do you love most about guitar?
That's a really good question. I don't really know. It's just the thought of being able to have another instrument.
Okay.
Which is, that's a cool thing. But then, of course, I've always liked how a guitar sounds, and just being able to recreate that is probably one of the coolest things. Like, one of my favorite things to do, and I'll play it every single time I pick up a guitar, is the breakdown part and intro riff of "The End" by Mammoth. But a lot of the stuff that I do is just basic stuff, just put all over the neck of the guitar.
Got it. Okay. Well, it does sound really cool.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why people think I'm as good at a guitar as I am at drums. Like, I ask people all the time, "What do you think I'm better at?" They're like, "Guitar." I'm like, I know a lot about it.
Yeah. I would encourage you to continue to dive deeper into that, bro, because I think you're onto something special. I really do.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things I can do. Drums, if I put that in the guitar, I wouldn't be able to do. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. That's right.
But with drums, there's a lot of things I can do. Just, again, at 16 years old, that not people that are older can't.
Got it.
Just because I've also been playing drums for 13 years, guitar maybe like 4.
Got it. Well, Ethan, like, I tell you all the time that you're my hero, and I mean that. When I look at you, like, I see you, and there's no way to describe what that means. But the two things that I think I'm most proudest of you and how and who you're becoming is you're the toughest kid I've ever seen. You're the toughest dude I've ever met. And I'm so proud of that, but I'm also proud of your consistency. And I know that may sound weird to me saying it, because we have to remind you to do certain things at home, on the regular. But your toughness and your consistency, even just, if anything, just the consistency of yourself to just get up over and over and over every time you get knocked down. I'm so proud of that, man. Like, it's a big deal, Ethan. And that's the foundation of all the great champions, is that toughness, that grit, and that consistency. Because, dude, there's nothing in this life that you can't have or accomplish with those two things. Not to mention, without obviously your faith. That goes without saying, right? But past your faith, your toughness and your consistency. What is something that really stands out to you that what is something that stands out big time to you that you're learning about yourself?
What consistency really looks like?
Go on.
Well, figuring out how to do certain things, but then just making sure I repeat them. Because again, like what we talked about earlier, figuring out what's right and wrong is how consistent I can be right.
Okay.
And how consistent I can do things right. And I always know the right thing is if I get knocked down, the right thing is to get up. I've always known that. I've known that my entire life, and I've been able to take that through a lot of things.
Again, dude, you've been beat up, you've been hurt, you've been knocked down, and you're like, if I had to define you in one word, besides faithful, I would say courageous. Your courage, and I don't talk about it enough. It is incredible, Ethan. I'm so proud. I was telling your mom when she was sitting in that chair earlier, a lot of parents look at their lids through what we call a gold colored lens, meaning like they can't do anything wrong. I think he's better than he is. I don't have that problem.
No.
I'm pretty honest, but dude, you are courageous. Probably more than me. And it's incredible, dude. You've made me more courageous. I have learned by watching you at your courage, your grit, your toughness. And dude, multiple times I've told myself, if he can do it, I can do it. That's wild.
Mm-hmm. To add on to what you said earlier, biggest thing I figured out about myself, a lot of things I've actually figured out about a lot of people, is most of everything is contagious. Like yawning, first of all. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. I'll crack. Okay, hold on. Let me take a breath, make sure nothing happens. All right, there we go. But like when someone's happy, a lot of people what I've learned, and the biggest reason that I feel like I'm good with speaking and good at holding a conversation with certain things and really holding a friendship is people feed off what you're giving off. Like if you're happy, they'll feed off of that. If you are sad, you're mad, they'll feed off of that. A lot I've learned from you. I've learned what I fed off of that, and there's ways where I want to be like, I want to make sure I can feed off that, and there's ways it's like I want to make sure that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
That is the biggest thing that I've learned is everything is contagious. People they like to be a little copycat sometimes. That's what they got to do. Is they just gotta figure out how to be that way. Again, that's the biggest thing is everything is contagious. If you were one way, someone else will be another. Like if you're getting an interview for a job, if you're hyped up and you're happy, that's how they're gonna be, and that's how they're gonna want you.
That's right. Well, as we bring this episode to a close, in the past, I always ask you, like, dude, what are you, what's your goals? What's your dreams? What are you working towards? Have they changed?
Mm-mm.
What are they as you sit today?
Playing center field for the New York Yankees.
So you're going to play center field for the New York Yankees. I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that you have what you need to do that, so that you have the choice to use what you need to get there or not. And your mom and I will always feed not what you tell us, but what you show us. We will always feed into whatever it is that you're showing us, and that will never ever stop. Right. So when you're putting in the work, We're going to be there to help you out and make sure you have what you need to get there. And eventually you won't need us anymore. That's the way it goes, right? And I'm going to tell you, dude, I talk about this a lot. My son wants to play at Yankee Stadium, so I'm always telling him, is that Dr. Pepper going to get you closer to there or not?
No.
Right? And everybody's like, he's a kid. Just let him be a kid, man. Let him have the Dr. Pepper.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. But the point is yes, you can have a Dr. Pepper.
Thank you.
And is a Dr. Pepper going to keep you from getting to Yankee Stadium? One Dr. Pepper?
No.
Probably not. Did you get what you need to get to Yankee Stadium, or did you substitute a Dr. Pepper for it? That's the choice that I'm trying to teach you to make, right? And when you've done all the work that you need to do and you've done everything you need to do to get where you want to go, celebrate and enjoy it. That Ace of Spades champagne bottle that you saw that all the guys had signed that Casey had from going to when they won the pennant, the American League pennant, that definitely... The content of that container, of that bottle, did not get those guys close to the World Series, but they needed it to take a second to celebrate, and it was a symbol of what they had worked for. Dr. Pepper is a symbol of what you worked for that day.
I can probably say I'll probably be drinking that when I make the pennant instead of the champagne.
Well, maybe. But even tonight, if you did the work required, all you could do today to get there and made the right choices, celebrate it with that Dr. Pepper, dog. You know what I mean? You earned it, though. That's the point.
Yeah.
You earned it, right? So, dude, you ought to see the hate mail I get over saying that stuff. It's wild. It's wild.
It's all opinion-based. They think their opinions are right. That's the only difference.
A lot of merit to that. A lot of truth to that. Well, Ethan, is there anything else that I'll give you how about I give you the final word before I sign us off?
All right.
You didn't know I was going to do this. I just threw it on you right now.
Yes, he did.
You got any final thoughts or anything else? You want to speak directly to anybody? Do you want to just give somebody a note, or do you want to make a declaration of any sort? Like, I'm committing to X. How do you want to end this sucker? I'm literally going to leave it up to you.
Bye, Felicia.
Bro, that was perfect.
I agree.
That was awesome. Bye, Felicia. Well, on that note, I'm going to give it a little 6-7. 6-7.
When you said that the first time, I guess that's when it should have ended.
There you go. I know. Off camera, we got the gallery doing it. Well, dude, these conversations mean so much to me, and I watch them all the time. And
off topic. That Bye Felicia was from my Uncle David.
That's right. That's for old Uncle David. Well, dude, it's again, I'm as your dad, I'm so proud of you. You make your mom and I proud all the time, and I hope you know that, even if we don't tell you enough. You're an amazing human being, and I do not enjoy the tough part at all. And I go back and I question it, and I beat myself up over it every single time, dude. And I ain't perfect. You just be better than me. And then your son can be better than you, and we'll just keep that trajectory for all of our bloodline moving forward, right? If there's something about me that you wish was different, you can grant your own wish, right? There's stuff about my dad that I wished was different, and I get to do it different. And that's the beautiful thing. And the cool thing is when I get to do it different, I actually get to look back and decide if I was right or wrong. I wasn't always right. But this life is a gift. Every day you wake up, you get to be grateful. Be excited to get up every single day. Be excited for the opportunity to chase your dreams and do whatever it is that you got to do to get there. It's all a part of the journey. And it ain't always easy to do that. But, bro, like, you're doing great. We're so proud of you. Congratulations on another big year. This year's a big one for you, man. And I can promise you two things. I'm going to enjoy every second of it, and I'm not going to miss a minute. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Finding the right health plan can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Backed by over 12 years of experience and more than 20 national and local awards, Team Hyder is here to help you navigate your options and choose a plan that fits your family's needs and your budget. Visit teamhyder.com today to schedule your consultation and get the coverage that you deserve. Any other final words besides bye, Felicia?
Nah. No, just bye, Felicia. Later. That's it. But yeah, that was good. I loved that. That was nice. I always look forward to coming in here.
Well, we'll do it again this time next year.
Sounds good to me.
In the meantime, we got some stuff to do. We got some goals to crush, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
It's go time, baby.
All right.
It's go time. Well, folks, thanks again for tuning into another episode of the Hitstreak. Big shout out to my son Ethan for joining me today, spending some time with this old man. Folks, we'll see you next time. God bless.